Hello, my friends, and welcome back. It is Thursday, December 8th, 2022. I'm the Drunk Pokeroo. 'Tis Beer Advent Day 8. We're smack in the middle of the afternoon. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon. We're off today. We had a couple of beers in the morning, and we decided, we're not going to wait for the Advent beer because we're going to have a nap this afternoon. There's nothing better than a 3-beer nap. I got to tell you, there's nothing better than that. We're watching some vintage Christmas specials. 1967 Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin family Christmas special. The 1957 Bing Crosby Frank Sinatra Christmas special. I dig them. The fact that these are big stars that made these specials in those days, you don't see that anymore. It's a different time. But let's see what Mr. Snowman Man has for us today on day 8 as we get into the second week of the Beer Advent calendar. And we have, from our pals at Bench Brewing, comes fortified 11.8% Imperial Espresso Stout aged in Canadian whiskey barrels. Well now, how are you? Happy to see Bench again. Bench is a pretty fancy place. You ever been there? It's fancy. Make good beer though too. Good solid regular beers, great mixed fermentation, and barrel aged stuff. In the Niagara region. Not too far from the house, about 40-minute drive. It's been a while since we've been there. It's been a while since we've been anywhere. It's been a rough couple of years, I'm not going to lie. And I'm working through it as best I can, like we all are. But we're going to enjoy the Advent calendar because it's the one thing that brings us together. We all get to do this. Oh, we can smell that espresso. I worked in a grocery store for about 7-8 years. And for a couple of those years, I was an assistant store manager. And I would be able to stand around and drink espresso and watch the people go by. And God, that was an easy job. It really was. High stress, but easy. Anyways, let's get into this. Cheers, my friends. Welcome, Bench, to the Beer Advent Calendar 2022. Cheers. That's a big coffee punch. This is last year's beer. I think it's 2021. Big coffee punch up front. Big, bitter coffee. You get that espresso. There's a smoothness to espresso, too, though. Then you get this kind of heat, a little bit of heat from the whiskey. Touches of vanilla, touches of the barrel, the oak. Very nice, very much coffee forward. And I like coffee forward beers at certain times because I think they give us, when you're talking about boozy beers, and boozy beers can be a little overwhelming sometimes. So the coffee kind of helps to cut that bitterness, that roasted bean helps to cut that bitterness and that heat and that booziness and brings a balance to the force. This one I think could go a couple more years, no problem, and will become even more balanced. It's really drinking nice right now, but I like when I have one and I'm like, if you've got another one of these, you can let her sit for a while. Like that's kind of cool too. That's kind of cool to see stuff and you watch for the peak, and that peak is going to come. And the thing with these beers is the valley, when they start to come down, isn't a sharp drop, right? It's a slow and balanced decline. And I hate to say the word decline, it's probably the wrong word. But if you're really lucky, in these very, very well-made beers will give you years of enjoyment. So that's very nice, very much coffee forward. So if you're looking for a pick-me-up in the morning on your day off, I think you found it. Thanks to Bench. Cheers, my friends. See you tomorrow. I feel like they've shoved all the coffee in there. And then they just handed me a bottle of whiskey and went, go nuts, buddy. And I will.